is a new day and we are going to be doing baby food. I have been doing baby purees for my baby because she is currently in a spica cast and she's not able to properly sit up all the way. So purees are just easier and I feel safer for her at this moment in time. Once she has a little bit more strength, then we're gonna be doing baby-led weaning. But I wanted to share with you guys some of the purees that I have been doing for her. I'm going to be doing tonight the breakfast puree. This is basically overnight oats is what I like to call, and she loves it. The key is to do it overnight because if you do it fresh and give it to them, it's kind of grainy and the texture really throws her off. She doesn't like that texture. She likes it nice and smooth. So make sure you do this with, a lot of time in advance, overnight or several hours before you actually give them the puree. But maybe your baby likes the grainy texture, who knows? I also filmed a lunch sweet potato soup, and then I filmed for dinner veggie chicken soup. Now the veggie one is optional to add chicken. You can always leave the chicken out and it's perfectly fine, but I like to give them a little bit of protein at night because it helps them sleep longer, supposedly. But sometimes she does wake up throughout the night, like, the last week or so. But maybe it's a sleep regression, who knows? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This breakfast is super simple. All you're going to need is half a banana, half a cup of blueberries, and half a cup of rolled oats. I'm going to be using my NutriBullet Baby. I love this NutriBullet. It is small, that makes the perfect amount for baby food. Sometimes when I use my big one, it's just way too big. But it's plain and easy. Add all the ingredients plus 1/4 of a cup of water and blend. It might take a little bit to actually blend, so you just want to shake it a little bit like I did, and then it'll actually blend the whole thing. If you want it to be a little bit more liquidy, obviously add more water. This is the texture that we like. It's nice and thick, but you can still see, especially when I pour, the graininess of it. So this is why it's so important to make sure to do these overnight or ahead of time so that the baby doesn't actually feel that grain. I know my baby, when she tried it straight out of this, she did not really care for it because it was so grainy. What's nice about this NutriBullet is that it comes with these little storage containers that are the perfect size for babies when they're starting off to eat. This is equivalent to 2 ounces of food. Once I'm done blending everything, I go ahead and place them in the fridge, and the next morning breakfast is ready. So it's definitely convenient. Now for the soup, we're going to be using a sweet potato, yellow squash, celery, onion, and garlic. I'm going to be chopping up everything. I like to chop the zucchini / yellow squash, whatever you have in stock in your home, in half. This way it cooks faster and also in kind of thin slices. With the celery, I like to do the same thing because it just cooks much faster. When I am doing 3 different lunches sometimes, because I have 3 under 3 plus ourselves, it's crazy at lunchtime. So the faster I can cook things, the better, which is why you're going to be seeing me chop up everything into tiny little pieces. This is the sweet potato that I completely peeled and, of course, once again chopped up into small pieces. The smaller the better because sweet potato is a very tough potato to cook. So I like to just cut it as small as I can so that this soup can be done in literally 15 to 20 minutes. And when you are chopping up everything, have no fear if it's big, small, it doesn't really matter. With these baby soups, I like to puree everything. The only reason I cut them small is for time's sake. Now, Once everything is chopped up, I'm going to saute my garlic, celery, and onion. I don't like adding any butter or oil to my baby purees because they are so young. I don't really like introducing them to that sort of thing. So my secret weapon is water. As you can see, it literally acts like butter, oil. Whenever you start seeing it dry up, just add a little bit more. I went ahead and added some yellow squash to my skillet, pot, whatever you have. And as you can see, once again, more water. This is when I go ahead and start adding everything. I add the sweet potato and I add 2 cups of water. You can add more if you want it more liquidy. Once again, since this is baby puree, I like to make it a little bit thick. So 2 cups of water works perfectly fine for me, but it's up to you. You want to check the soup periodically, and the way you know that it's done is when that sweet potato is done. So I grab a fork, poke it. Here it wasn't as soft or falling apart as much as I wanted it to, so I let it cook a little bit longer. And then once I start to see that the sweet potato easily breaks and falls apart, that's when I know the soup is ready to be pureed. I like using the NutriBullet Baby for this. I will leave a link down below. I honestly think it is the perfect baby shower gift, or if you know anyone who is a mama and really likes to cook or wants to make their own homemade food, this is a perfect gift for that person. I feel like it makes the perfect amount of food for the baby, and you don't have to use a huge, large blender. This is when you can tell that this consistency is perfect for the baby. It blends so easily, and my favorite thing about this soup is the color. I don't know why, but I just love how bright and orange the soup comes out. I don't add any salt or seasoning to this soup because the sweet potato itself is super sweet. So the baby likes it. I don't find the need to add salt. With my leftovers, I place it in the containers. Now, one feature I really like about this is that you can place the date. I cooked this on the 15th, so I set it on that date, and this way I know how long it can actually be stored in the fridge. And this also comes with a frozen storage container. I fill 3 of these, and whatever I have left over, I place it in this storage container that I keep in my freezer. And whenever I run out of the other one, I bring this one out and warm it up for the baby. Like I said, it's a great gift for any mama-to-be or any mom who currently cooks for their baby or wants to cook for their baby. And voila, our soup is made. It is fantastic. I really love this soup. But moving on to dinner, we are going to be using lots of veggies for our last and final soup. Broccoli, carrots, half a bell pepper, 1 potato, onion, and garlic. So this is where I also add chicken. It is optional, you do not have to, but it is definitely a protein that you can add because you have your carbohydrate in the potato and it's filled with lots of veggies with the broccoli, carrots, and chop, my friends. As you can see, that is my secret weapon when it comes to making baby purees. The smaller, the better. I start off by sauteing my onions and pepper as well as garlic. And you will use a little bit of water as your substitution for oil and butter. And then you also want to add the chicken at this point. I like to get a little bit golden, get those flavors flowing at the beginning. You're going to then peel your potato and chop it up small. This is a red potato. You can use any potato that you have at home. If you have a golden potato, yellow potato, russet potato, even a sweet potato would taste good in this specific soup. Once the potato is chopped, you're going to add it to the rest of the vegetables in the pot, and this is when I like to add my broccoli as well as my carrots. Thin sliced carrots works. If you want to shred your carrots, you can also do that. Shredding definitely makes cooking much faster. This specific recipe, by the way, is a grandma recipe. My mom loves using this. She uses 2 cups of water and just mixes all of it together. And this one is done pretty quickly because it is a red or golden yellow potato. Those don't take as long to cook. So I usually finish this soup in about 20 minutes. But once you see it boiling, I put it on low because I don't want the broccoli to overcook, and it helps simmer all the vegetables, kind of like a vegetable broth. My bigger kids love eating this soup that I had to bust out the huge NutriBullet. Any blender at home will do. Now, one secret is to pulse your soup at the end. This way you don't have any big chunks. My kids don't like chunks, so I always make sure to pulse it. I return it back to the cookware and I add a little bit of salt for this specific soup. It is bland, so half a teaspoon of salt will do. The chicken releases a lot of the flavor, and all the vegetables together create a vegetable broth, so there's no need to add a whole bunch of salt. But that is basically it. I like serving my soup in these silicone food grade bowls. I will leave a link to them down below. They prevent stuff from leaching into your soups and foods that are hot. This completes this video. As you can see, my kids devour this soup. I don't have to fight them. Like always, remember to dream big, be brave, and explore life. Until next time. Mwah.